So this is episode 3 of Serious and Silliness, except that this time I have 2 really good friends and co-workers with me. We got Steve. Say what's up, Steve.
What up, people?
And Josh. What's up, Josh?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
All right, so they're going to join me in today's video, and it might be a little extra long. It might be a little extra funny because we're all drinking. What are you drinking, Steve?
I'm drinking some juice, motherfucker. I'm drinking some juice.
That's like what do you got, a chalice? What the fuck is that? It's like a small boy with a fucking hat and grapes gonna come out on it. Jesus Christ. What are you drinking, Josh?
I'm drinking a little bit of whiskey.
Okay. So I'm the biggest homo here. So I got Honey Jack and beer. That's it. All right.
Honey Jack.
I mean, you're double fisting, so you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not double. This is one at a time.
Yo, wait a second. I just went to the liquor store to buy another bottle.
And you got Gordon's. That's like gasoline.
That's some good shit. It gets the job done.
All right, so
dude, you got fucking diesel fuel with him.
So you know the format of Serious and Silliness is first we talk about a topic that people do that we fucking can't stand, and then we go into answering questions and shit, you know?
Yeah.
So today's topic is going to be about cheap people, cheap motherfuckers. So, like, personally, I don't care if you're cheap with your shit, right? But like, if you're hanging out with me, and we like are at a bar or something like that, and you won't tip, or you gotta look at the receipt to see if everything is squared up right because you don't want to pay too much. That annoys the shit out of me. Because if I go out, it's just we split 50-50. That's it. Like I don't, especially like if I'm with my wife and we go to dinner, right?
Yeah.
And there's another couple there. My wife knows what couples I don't mind going to dinner with because they're not cheap. And then she knows the other couples I don't even ask them. I mean, they won't even. I mean, they look for me to pay the bill. I'm not even bullshitting it. They look for me to and I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. Or like and then what happens is with those people, we'll go to dinner. And then we'll go to dinner, we'll pay the dinner, and then we'll go out to drink because the girl's like, oh, let's go out. We go out to drink. And the guys are like in the back of the bar because they don't want to be at the bar because they got to pay.
It's fucking terrible.
So I'm the asshole fucking buying girls drinks.
You know what gets me when you talk about that shit? You know what gets me? You know how motherfuckers do that? Slide the bill across the table as they're talking type of shit?
Yeah.
The bill comes and it comes in front of them.
Yeah.
And they do this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've never experienced that, but there's been a couple times when you get that person that holds it up to the light to see if it's right or whatever. Like
yeah. Or what about the motherfuckers that break out the calculator when the receipt comes?
Yeah. Want to make sure everything is fucking equal and shit.
Yeah.
Or see what they want, see what their share is,
right.
And that's all they contribute.
Yeah. Or the separate check motherfuckers are another one. Separate checks.
Yeah.
Holy
shit. Or the
shit.
person that only drinks fucking water when everybody's having a fucking drink.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I only had the water, please.
Yeah.
What?
No, I didn't have a cheeseburger. I had a salad, so I'm only going to give you $7. If you don't have the money, don't go. Don't fucking go, right? So the other thing, how does a woman find that attractive? How do you, if you're one of those guys and you go on a date and you can take a girl to dinner, right? And then you're going down the check, like, okay, we got this, the tax is this, and then a tip on that, and you're going, how is that attractive to a woman?
Wait, I got a better one. Listen to this shit. I'm not gonna name any names, but you know, like say family, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, come on, I'm not talking about my family, but come on, we're gonna take mom out to dinner.
Yes.
Right? So a bunch of y'all get together, get mom, take it to the restaurant, and then when the check comes, Guess who pays for the dinner? Mom.
Why?
Like, what the fuck is that about? Like,
Holy
What the
shit.
fuck?
dinner, but you're making her pay for the check. Like, what the? You
Yo.
talking about cheat?
That's bad. Yo, I'm not even kidding. Like, the women in my family, if we go out to a dinner or whatever, they don't even see the check.
Right.
They don't even see
As
the
it should
check.
be.
They don't even see the check. Like, women don't have to pay. When my father was alive, nobody had to pay. If he was with his sons and his the daughter-in-laws, and he paid everything. You know?
Right.
Or like, if you could do it on a point system. Like, for example, if you go out with a chick and she's banging and she's fine as hell, and yeah, I'm gonna pay for whatever I gotta pay for as far as the check with this chick, because I'm gonna get that ass at the end of the night, right? Or if the bitch is, she has a nice body, but she ain't that fine, I'm gonna make this bitch pay for half the check.
That never worked for me. I don't know. Well, to be honest with you, I never even tried it. I just pay the check.
That's balls big.
Oh yeah.
That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
When you get your looks together, I'll pay for the whole shit. Right now you're ugly, so you gotta pay for that.
Yeah. But look, and then the flip side of the coin is like, if your boy that's always with you, or a couple is always with you, or your boy is always with you, and he never has a problem paying the check, right?
Yeah.
And let's say he's fucking down on his luck, he lost his job, or whatever the case may be. Shit fucking happens, right?
You're right.
You're like, hey, come out, let's go out, blah, blah. And he goes, I got no money. You man up and go, you don't need any money. That's it. Let's go.
Right.
right.
Oh, that's cool.
I remember I was saving for my wedding. And everybody went out. And Jay at work asked me if I was coming. And I was like, nah, man, I'm set for the wedding. I can't spend any money. I don't have any extra money. I didn't ask for any money. He was like, I got you. I still didn't go because I felt bad, But he kept putting it in my head. He's like, you don't need it. Just come.
Yeah.
See, and those are some real motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the dudes that you want to keep around and shit.
Yes.
Or you want to associate with.
Absolutely.
The best things they ever made were at work.
Yeah.
Yes. I hear you.
What else? There were some other scenarios that I was thinking of, but the honey jack is putting a block on it. Oh,
That honey jack is some shit.
yeah. So, I grew up when I was a kid. I remember my father fighting over the check with his friends when we went to dinner, and when the wives were there and the kids were there, like for occasions and stuff like that. I remember him fighting over the check. Now, like, I go to dinner with like family, not my family, the in-laws. God damn. It is like pulling teeth, man. It's unbelievable. But again, he's my family, right? So if he were to come over to me and go, yo, John, I'm tight, no problem.
You ever fight over the tip?
Oh, dude, I love it. I love it when they tell you how much you should tip. You ever get one of those guys? I'm like,
Oh yeah.
how much you giving? That's like 30%. You shouldn't have give that much. Well, mind your own fucking business.
Dude, like,
But then again, too, it also goes according to your server. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know how on the check 15, 20, or whatever it is, 20%, right?
Yeah.
And whatever the minimum is or the maximum, and you say, okay, she was good. She getting the maximum, and maybe then some, because she was really fucking good.
Right.
She knows how to be a waitress, because when she's taking pictures, she knows if I give them a little extra this, a little extra that, they'll hook me up, right?
Yeah.
Doing her job. You know what she do.
Right.
Then these motherfuckers that just do the best and barely deserve the amount that you're supposed to give them when you pay the check. Those motherfuckers get like whatever the minimum amount is. I don't know, but what's the minimum amount? Like,
I don't even know, because I don't even pay attention to the percentage. I just tip accordingly.
yeah.
No,
Exactly. Like
Like if the
and the
double
fucked up waitress,
is, you know, $30.
she gets $1.25.
Say that again.
that's fucking
Yo, if she's a fucked up waitress, she ain't getting shit. She's gonna get $1.25.
Yeah.
She don't get the little bit of change that's left after you pay the fucking bill. Because she was a fucked up waitress with an attitude, and the bitch doesn't deserve shit. But I feel bad not leaving nothing.
Me too.
Oh, but I think it's more of an insult to like let the bitch know that's how fucked up a waitress you are. You just getting, like, say the bill came to 80, 83, 79, and I think the bitch $85. She gonna get that $2 and things that's left from the fucking bill. That's not fucking it. Fuck it. Because you fucked up waitress.
Yeah.
You're lucky you got something, because I didn't want to give you shit, but I don't want to feel bad or feel, all fucked up because I didn't leave it. This is all you're getting, bitch, because you was a fucked up waitress with an attitude.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, one
serve it. I get it. That's different.
one thing I do is just give them the minimum. I guess that's the percentage wise. But if like it's like what you're saying, like if the waitress is doing things like above and beyond and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you definitely gotta give more. You know what I'm saying? This is the person that's giving you food. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. The number one.
I was on an airplane. I was going somewhere. I forget where the fuck I was flying to, right? And we sat all the way in the back. That's where our seats was, like all the way towards the back of the plane, right? And it was me and my family members, and we had a gay flight attendant. And not for nothing, I'm cool with gay people. It's all good, And it didn't matter that the guy was gay. He was cool. He was flaming fat. But this motherfucker, we weren't supposed to get drinks on the flight. This motherfucker did everything except leave the bottles in the back with us. He was feeding us drinks left and right, and we weren't even supposed to be drinking. Oh, don't worry about it. I was like, all right, motherfucker, you said you got us, so what's up? And he brought the fucking bottle back there and was pouring drinks like he was ready to sit down with us and hang out.
Yeah.
He was trying to make you his chocolate milk dud, son.
Yeah, I don't know about that shit. That's why I said, look, motherfucker, don't think you're getting any special favors for giving us drink. I don't give a fuck how drunk I get. I ain't fucking with you, you gay bastard.
Yeah. This whole thing goes a whole different direction. Let's come back to the topic.
Okay.
The number one job for a high school and college dropout for a woman is a waitress, and they depend on their tips, right?
Right.
And if they're good servers, you should tip.
No, that's true.
I had a friend, and this was the one and only time that I ever went to a strip club. I had the singles. He had no singles in front of him. So the girls come by, I give him a couple of singles, and he would not give them anything. He wouldn't give them nothing. And I finally looked at him, and I was like, Joe, give her a couple of dollars. Jesus Christ. He took $2 of my dollars and gave.
Jeez, dude.
One thing about cheap people, you cannot insult them out of being cheap. They got no pride. Their number one priority in life is saving a buck. You can call them a cheap motherfucker, you cheap bastards. You can insult them in front of family. They don't get shit.
But I think they already like accepted that, and that's why you saying that to them doesn't affect them at all.
Nah, not at all.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but you know what? I mean, if you're out like you were with your friends, and that's your mindset, like, that's just the way, that's how your mind is conditioned. That's how you do things. And then, but you're out with people whose mindset is completely different, like you and whoever else you was with. And then on top of that, he took your money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so really, what kind of mindset do you really have? If you don't want to tip her, at least not with your money, you don't mind tipping her as long as it's somebody else's money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What what about when you go to dinner and you said when the guy slides the check? What about when you go to dinner and the check comes and it's invisible to everybody else but you? Apparently.
Everybody else gets that shit they call it alligator arm. You know, they don't reach for
Short arms and deep
They don't
pockets,
even
son.
acknowledge that the tip check is on the table. They just keep talking and like, you know, it's just like nothing's like.
That's when everybody got a bladder problem. They got a bladder problem. They gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
oh shit, I gotta pee. And then get up and run to the, you know. So maybe the check will be paid for when I get back. You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
I want to know how girls find that attractive. Because these guys are married, and these guys do have girlfriends, and these guys do have kids. How does a girl find that attractive? At a young age, my mother told me, you're on a date, never check the check. Never go over the check. That is a big turnoff to a woman.
Wait a minute, never go over
Smart woman.
the check. Wait a minute.
Yeah, if I'm going to dinner with a girl, my mother always told me, never go over the check, just pay it. She said that is the biggest turnoff.
Okay.
And I see these girls like, and it just, how does that turn on a girl? Like, because you would think, like, if I'm out with a girl, and my attitude is, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. You know, I got you. You know, let's on to the next thing. See that girl.
So how do you look at it? Let's say, how do you look at it when you're with a chick? Let's say you're on a date. You have the intention, all the right intentions, like, you know, you're gonna pay for the check. You're a complete gentleman, right? You taking care of everything, opening doors and all kinds of shit. You're a complete gentleman. You sit down, have a good dinner, right? And this chick, when the check comes, you're ready to pay it. No. I got it. Right? So, you know what I said? That bitch is the keeper. She wants to pay the check, and she's getting fucked tonight.
You know what? I've only had that happen to me once on a first date, right? And I was like taken back. I was almost insulted. Not insulted, I can't say that, but I was taken back because when I'm on a date, I'm the man. That's my role.
Right.
I'm gonna take you out. I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna pay for everything. Listen, I still do it with my wife. If we go out, I'm still open the door for her. Still take her out. Right? She wants to be treated like a lady. Right?
Right.
I want to be treated like a man. She wants to be treated like a lady, and that's keeps the relationship going. So.
But John, don't you think like that's how you was raised, right?
Yeah.
Raised, right? These dudes probably weren't raised the right way. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And the chicks that they're with, like what you call it, a sub,
Yeah.
like a submissive dude and shit. Like they could just walk all over them.
Yeah, but
You
then
know what I mean? That's probably why.
End up with that kind of girl that's gonna and deservedly so. Right?
Because think back what you said, like those couples that you don't like going to dinner with, like how is the chick to their man when everybody's around?
You know what though? Sometimes it's almost like those dudes deserve that shit. I mean, I hate to be down on the brothers.
It's true, I do.
But you know, like I've heard of situations where people have been in a relationship. I'm talking about like I'm married, right? For 25 years. So, you know, if you're together that long, you would think that there's a mutual bond between the two of them that has made their marriage last that length of time, right?
Right.
Then you come to find out that the bitch was stealing from you the whole time you was married.
Damn.
Now she wants a fucking divorce, and you left with nothing yet. You know, you just left ass out, and then you're sitting there scratching your head like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
For 25 years, she took my fucking money, and I didn't know it, and now you're fucked up because she wants a divorce, and she's gonna take more of your shit. When you get there.
Listen, that's the risk you take.
So if you are that naive and you allow that kind of shit to happen, then you almost deserve what the fuck is happening to you. You're too stupid to pick up on that shit. And you had 25 years to do that. You must have been asleep for a long fucking time. Because how do you not see that? And you have good intentions and all that, but all this time she's plotting and scheming, and now look at your ass. Because when the shit hits the fan, you're left with nothing. That's
there are guys out there that truly believe that that's what they deserve, whether it's because they're insecure and they don't think they can get anybody else, or it's how their family was done. Like, I know a lot of guys that I know that are submissive and lack of backbone or let their wives run them. Their parents were the same way. You know?
Yeah.
We're getting off the topic. Let's pull back down to the topic. The other question was, if you're that cheap, doesn't being that cheap affect your happiness in life? So what I mean by that is, if you're going on vacation or you're buying something that you've always wanted, do you not go on vacation? Do you not want to buy that thing that you've always wanted, even though you have the money? You just refuse to have those fun times?
I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Because if this is like a deep desire to want something, like they're like cheapness, I think stems from being selfish. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep everything from themselves. Right. So I think like doing like buying a fancy car or doing a vacation that they've always wanted to do, they're not going to the group that they have to pool their money with somebody else. You know what I mean? But I could be totally wrong.
I think that if, say, for example, like you go on vacation with your significant other, right? And you're like, you know, you went that far to do that, you know, as far as paying for the vacation. Let's say
Jesus Christ, dude, take it easy.
Say you go on a cruise, right? So you're paying for everything, pretty much, right? And now you're on a cruise, and it's almost like you're mentally monitoring your movements in respect to the money you spend, because you're saying, it's almost like you're saying, well, I did enough because I did this and I did that, and I'm not gonna go beyond that threshold.
Yeah.
You know, because you think you already did what you needed to do. So in their mind, they're like, I did my thing, and this is it. And anything extra is where I shut it down. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And like, so you think that they will say, well, you know, why isn't, you know, like you're not spending a lot of money on different things while you're out there, because you think you already reached that threshold.
Yeah.
And you said, I ain't spending no more money. I already did what I had to do. Like, you have a limit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And but that goes against, if you're the type of person, like for me, if I'm going somewhere to enjoy myself, fucking sky's the limit, because I'm out there trying to do me and enjoy myself. So I'm not worried about no fucking money or finances, because this is what it's all about. And so if I want to do that, I'm gonna do it. And if after the fact, maybe I went above what I was supposed to, I'll deal with that shit later. Because right now, it's about to enjoy myself. So I'm not gonna put no restrictions. You know what I mean? Where, well, that's what I'm saying. You know, but I don't know. You know.
Yeah, I understand, but let's say it affects your family. So what I mean by that is, there was a guy at work who is not there anymore. He got promoted. He's at another plant, right? And he was married and he had a baby girl. And there was another guy that took his wife and kids to Disneyland. And he was telling me how expensive it was, but his son loved it. I was talking to him about the other guy. I was talking to him, you know, about his tickets to Disneyland, Disney World, whatever. And I tell him how expensive it was. He's like, well, I ain't spending that kind of money. I was like, but what if your wife wants to take you to Disney World? Because I just say no. But then your wife is gonna resent you. Holding back experiences with the baby. Like, it's not like, what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about people that are broke. People that are broke don't have the money over this account. I'm talking about people that have the money we do, right? we'll make more. We know what we get paid. We know what the supervisors get paid, and so on and so forth. You just go, no, I ain't spending that kind of money. I'm not taking my daughter to Disney World because I don't want to spend the money. To me, not only are you robbing of yourself, you're robbing of your kids too. I mean, that's just fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Do you think that stems from like a life of like living without? You know what I mean? And but what I mean without, meaning like oh, I want this new bike, or I want this new like a console or whatever, like, and their parents telling them no, they can have it for whatever reason, and they just that's how they grew up, and they feel like that's a good way to live, or like that's how I grew up. She's gonna grow up that way, or that's gonna grow up that way. You know what I mean? Like,
I think there's two things that come to mind for me. Well, one really doesn't apply, but the other one thing is, like you say, you know that phrase, scared money don't make no money. So like, let's say you that type of guy, this really it's more to do with investing or using your money to make money, right? But that really don't apply. The other one is when you see a person who's got a lot of money, who's rich, right? Those people are usually the cheapest motherfuckers walking into the earth.
Yeah.
Because that's why they got money, because they don't spend what they make. You know what I mean? They but then you think, oh, they got money, so they don't have no problem doing this or affording this. But the reason that they don't go above and beyond is because they keep with their money and they keep it in their pocket rather than spending it. That's why they got fucking money. And that is most of the time scenario for rich people. They don't spend a lot of money. And that's why they're rich, because they keep their money.
Yo, who's got the TV on? Can we lower the TV a little bit?
Oh, I'm gonna mute mine. Okay, I'm muting my TV.
yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. All right, so I think we killed that fucking topic. I got a couple of questions. You guys want to help me answer these questions?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, do your thing.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the questions, and then maybe Steve could answer first, and Josh can answer second, and then I'll give the final answer, all right?
Okay.
Okay, so the first one, I'm not going to, these are like family and friends, so I'm just not going to give the name out or anything like that, not even the first name, so they know who they are. But the first question is, why are there so many men that are non-committal? Why are they afraid that they can't be with any one woman? What are they missing? How should a woman deal with such a man? So go ahead, Steve. What do you think?
Okay. I think if a man is non-committal, he's not secure in himself as of yet, because I think for him to want to be fully committed, he's going to want to make sure in his mind that he has his shit together, where, to the point where he's ready for anything that comes his way when he deals with a woman who's got her shit together, and he wants to be able to, for the most part, match what she's bringing to the table, because you don't want to be that motherfucker that, try to get with a woman who's established and you ain't got shit to bring to the table. You know what I mean? So you feel a sense of inadequacy.
That's a possibility.
You know what I mean? And so because of that, they might say, well, if I'm not prepared enough, for lack of a better word, then I think that they might feel they're not 100% ready to jump into something that could possibly take off if all the chips were in play and everything was all smooth and whatnot, that it could take off. But if they don't feel they're ready, they take a back seat. You know what I mean? They kind of like fall back because they said, as much as I might want this to happen, I'm not ready for it. So therefore, I need to fall back and back off until I feel my shit is correct enough to come and get at a woman like her, because she's coming to the table with all her shit straight up and ready to go. And if you don't feel equally, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? If you don't feel equally ready to be with a woman, and you're not gonna want to move forward. That's my feeling.
Now, the other part of the question is, how should a woman deal with such a man? So, how does a woman deal with a guy like that?
Well, if that goes according to how much let's say you have a woman that, say the woman in question that we're talking about is a really a woman of substance, where she takes all these things into consideration, and if she sees that you're really the right man for her, she's gonna give you what you need, like time frame. She's gonna give you that rope, that leeway, because she knows that you're worth it. So she's gonna say, well, I know that he might be going through some shit right now, but I know he's the right man for me. So I'm not gonna make him feel inadequate. I'm gonna be there in his corner. That's a ride or die chick, right?
I got it.
I mean, so she's gonna be there. You might be ass out, bottom of the barrel, but she, for whatever reason, she feels you're the man for her. So she'll stand by your side and let you do you and build yourself the way you need to be, because she has that much. She has that much confidence in you that you can be that man. So if she sees that, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna let him do what he needs to do, because when he gets the way he needs to be, that's the man that I'm talking about. She may not, she sees the potential in you, but you need to get there, and she gives you the room to do that. That's a ride or die chick. And so that's why I think that when you get one of those and you know it, those are the type of chicks that you make sure you do the right thing by, because when you was all fucked up and she was holding you down, you know, now you where you need to be, you gotta hold her down. You gotta do the right thing for her, because, you know what I mean? That's what I say.
All right.
You know?
Let's see what Josh says. What do you think, Josh? Why are guys not, and how does the girl deal with it?
Say that again? You broke up a little bit.
The question was, why are so many guys non-committal, and how does the girl go about dealing with a guy like that?
All right. Like, to piggyback off of what Steve said the first time, I think it has to do with the man itself, or man themselves and shit. If they feel that they're not adequate enough, they're not going to pursue anything. But there's also one thing is, like, some guys don't feel that they feel like they've accomplished enough in life, that they've gone through enough adventures or quote unquote like endeavors in their life to finally be like, you know what, I'm good. It's time to like settle down and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think it all has to do with like personal endeavors, personal goals. Like if they grow up with a certain amount of like with a certain uncle or cousin or whatever, they go out, they bang a lot of chicks or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they don't get to do that, they might feel like they're missing out on life by just settling down and just being like taken out of the game, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying?
So
and
how does the girl go about dealing with a guy like that? That's the second part of the question.
Well, it basically, I think Steve hit the nail on the head. Really, like if she's real, if she sees the potential in you, I mean, but that also depends on the type of chick that she is. You know, all the type of dude that you are. You know what I'm saying? It's not everybody's gonna see potential in everybody, but I think if you really like somebody, give them a chance. But if they don't meet your expectations and shit, like saying like, oh, he doesn't have his shit together now, like what Steve said, he's gonna make it so that he's gonna get to where he needs to be at.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, because I've been in that situation.
All right.
I'm in the situation now. You know what I mean? So
You're in the situation now. You could just
Yeah.
do these.
yeah, I was flat broke, son. I was fucking doing nothing in my life.
Oh, I see.
Didn't have no path. Didn't have no
And your girl, as wonderful as she is, waited.
exactly. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Finally got the man with the
That's
career.
a ride or die chick right there. John.
Right, and now she got a filet mignon. You know what I mean? I'm fucking around.
So to me, this question's a little vague. All right, because we don't know this person's situation. We don't know how old the person is. We don't know if this person has kids. We don't know if this person's divorced, how many times she's divorced. We don't know anything about it. She's just saying, why are men non-committal? We don't know her situation.
Right.
It could very well be this person has divorced 3 times and she's got 5 kids. Well, that's why men don't want to commit.
I wish I knew how to do the one eyebrow raise. Right. Really?
Now,
those are the questions that need to be raised about that.
Right. Exactly. So let's break it down. If you're a young girl and you're in your 20s, the guys that are gonna want to have committed relationships in their 20s, they usually have their shit together to begin with. They're either in college, they have a career, or they're working, and they already know what path they want. They want a family life, they want somebody this, and so forth. Now, when you're young too, when you're a young guy, you know, I think we all did it, you're a little wild. You know, you don't want to settle down with one chick, right? If you're a young guy,
wait a minute. I want to pause you 1 second. She is motherfucker.
Oh, you're drinking from a water pitcher. Jesus Christ.
This is my drinking glass right here, son.
All right. So if you're a young guy and you're having a good time and you're going to the clubs and so on and so forth, odds are you're not going to want to be committed. And you know, that might be one possibility. Okay. So you also got to take into consideration the stage the guy is in his life. If he's young, he's probably not want to be committed. He's probably not going to want to commit, right?
Okay.
A lot of young guys want to go out, party, date girls, have a good time, blah blah blah. Okay. So let's see if you go. Let's see. Now the next step is the divorce guy. Okay. So because obviously those guys, after the young guys, it's going to be like 30s and divorced, and they might have kids and so on and so forth. So they might need some time. You know, they might have just gotten over, you know, a year or two being with a girl for 10, 15, 20 years might be not enough. They might need a hell of a lot more time, and their priority might be raising those kids and not hanging out with a girl and committing himself to a girl. The girl has to. One of the things that I've noticed about women is they date the same type of guy over and over. I don't see a lot of girls going, okay, that street dude that I was fucking with, I'm not gonna fuck with no street dudes anymore because they're nothing but trouble.
Right.
I'm gonna go with the guy who's got his shit together and wants a relationship. Those girls want nothing to do with guys like that.
John, don't you think that's complacency? Don't you think that's like, oh, this is what I know. This is like
exactly
my comfort zone and shit.
And in order for you to improve your life and have a committed relationship, you have to be accountable, because you can't change anybody else, right? You can't change anybody else but yourself. And I guarantee
I'm sorry to cut you off, but you see, the thing with that, what I think is, it's like when you get into a committed relationship, right? This is where this is the line that they draw, right? This is the line you draw where now you're going from being that guy that was fucking around with this one, that one, the other. You might have had kids with whoever you was fucking around with. But when you get to that line where you say I'm stepping over that line now, I'm going to be in a committed relationship with a woman, and I'm locking her in because this is what I want from this point moving forward. No more of that bullshit that I was doing.
Right.
So once you get to that point, you have to commit yourself to being that person.
Right.
Point in life, and all that shit that you was doing prior to that.
Oh, see, we
out
know.
the fucking window.
Yeah, guys know what we have to do, but this question is from a girl, and the question is, why don't guys commit? Well, sometimes you got to look at yourself. It might not be the guys.
Exactly.
It might be the type of guy you date. It might be what you bring to the table. Maybe you don't bring much to the table. You might not be a very. You might treat guys a certain way that they don't.
I think if a chick asks that question, and this is my bottom line answer, if a chick asks that question, she got issues. That bitch got issues.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So if you gotta ask yourself, why can't I ever keep a man?
Right.
If you got issues, that's why. You can't say 10, you got 7 guys that you dated in the last, 5 years or whatever, right? And all those motherfuckers bounced on you because what are you gonna try and say? That, he had this problem, he had that problem. No, you're gonna point the finger at 7 different motherfuckers and say, bitch, you got the problem. Because
exactly.
Look at yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If girls understood that if you don't date down, right? You don't date down. If you say, I'm going to date better, well, you got to bring better, right?
Right.
So if you're divorced with 2 kids and you don't have a job and you're living off, alimony and child support, and here comes a guy like a guy like us, doesn't even have to be, highly educated lawyer, just a guy that makes a good living and is responsible like you do, I'm not going to want to have anything to do with that. I might have a long weekend with her when the kids are when he's with dad, when the kids are with dad, I might have a long weekend with her and then I'm out, right?
Right.
The girl's got to have to look at herself. Like, if a girl improves herself, becomes educated, improves her career, so on and so forth, right?
Right.
You meet better men.
Well, see, you hit the nail on the head because if a woman is going to say that, she has to already be in that position,
right? Where
she's there now. You know what I'm saying? So now you can make that argument because now you reach your potential where you need to be. You can say that shit. Yeah. But if you're not there yet, well, bitch, you got a lot of soul searching to do and all that kind of shit because you can't make an argument like that unless you come correct. Right. You know what I mean?
A lot of girls think they offer something, but they don't. Right. Or they know they don't offer anything, and they convince themselves that they do because they don't want to change. Okay. Right. So I'll give you an example. All right. Now this is obviously before I was married. I was dating around, so on and so forth. Especially a lot in my 30s, because once I got to my 30s, I knew I wanted to settle down. I wanted a wife. I wanted a family. I wanted a house, a career. Right. I would meet girls that were already divorced and had a kid or 2, which, okay, is fine. But even if the girls weren't divorced, they would have like a regular job, maybe a secretary or a nanny. Maybe they did a one girl shop, right? Nothing of substance. But they come at me with stuff. And they would say things like, I don't know. Don't compare me. This is a good one. Don't compare me to any other girl. I don't know what kind of girls you've been dating, but don't compare me to those other girls. So my answer to that was, okay, well, what makes you so different? Right. What makes you so different? Are you tax exempt? Do you have like special powers? What makes you so different? From what I could see, you get up in the morning, you take a shit, you go to work, you pay your bills. You're just like everybody else. I don't see anything different, right? Their answer would be, I didn't mean it like that. Well, then how did you mean it? And then they would give you another. Then they would give you another roundabout cliche. They would say, "I know what I bring to the table." That's what I mean. So I would go, "What do you bring to the table?"
Right.
Right? What do you bring to the table? And then I would get answers like, "I bring sex. I bring good sex, and I bring loyalty, and I bring commitment." And I'm like, those are 3 things you're supposed to have in a relationship. That's not a discussion.
That shit is not debatable, bitch.
These
Come
type of
on.
girls want to pat themselves on the back for shit everybody does. I don't. And then I would be like this. Then I would meet girls that would have a kid or 2, or maybe 3 kids or whatever, and they have a okay job, and they would say things like, "I'm not. I don't need somebody to take care of my kids." And I would say, "Well, that's irrelevant." So she would say, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Because any man of any substance, if he's in a committed relationship and you introduce him to your kids, is going to take care of your kids. Maybe not to the fullest, but he's going to buy them things and he's going to treat them right and he's going to take them places. So unless you don't want me to spend a dime on your kids or take them anywhere when we're together, you can't tell me you don't need to take care of your kids."
Right.
Right? So if a girl has 2 kids and we're in a year relationship and she's like, "Okay, these are my kids and we're comfortable, we're sitting in the house," and I'm like, "Let's order food." And we order Chinese food or whatever. And I go, "I ain't ordering for those fucking kids because you said you said you don't need to take care of those kids."
They put themselves on a pedestal for some shit that they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like, you know,
It's
don't use that shit in your argument. Like when you say, "Well, I take care of my kids and I cook and I clean." Bitch, that's what you're supposed to do.
And here's the funny part: I have never heard those words from a high-level girl. I never heard those words from a well-educated, well-career, well-rounded woman.
That has kids.
Yeah, that has kids. I never heard those words from a woman who was like a dentist or a lawyer or a cop or has her shit together, whatever the case may
John,
be.
Right, because
John,
they know that that's part of what they're supposed to do.
Right.
So they don't put that part of what they do as a parent on a pedestal because they know that that's what they're supposed to do anyway.
Right.
So they don't use that to emphasize, "Well, this is what I bring to the table." But you know you're supposed to do that, and you do that. So that's not even part of the equation because it's natural for someone who's in a good position to do that, to just take care of your, even if, I said that wrong, in a good position, because whether you're in a good position or a bad position, those are your kids, you gotta take care of them. And if, you know, if that's when you see a chick got an agenda that will say, you know, "If you want to get with me, my kids are part of the package."
Right.
I'm not trying to fuck with your kids. I'm trying to fuck with you. And if I do, your kids will become part of the package because I want to fuck with you. And that's the whole thing. You don't need to tell me that.
Right.
You know, let me do that on my own. And I'll show you. Once I'm with you, I got you and your kids. Because I want to be with you. And you and your kids is a package deal.
Yeah.
You made that clear. But you didn't need to make that clear because a real man is going to do that regardless.
Right.
You get some motherfuckers to say, "Well, I just want to bend that ass over and I'm going to fuck her and blah, blah, blah." Fuck her kid. I don't give a fuck her kids to eat all of them.
Let's let Josh get it.
Right. So going back
Go
to what John said, right? Like those professions or those type of people, those type of women that you said, they have a mentality that they don't have time to think about those things or think about like think about stories to tell somebody else to bring their story up like at a different rank.
Right.
You think what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like those type of women, they're fully on it. They're fucking going for it. They have their own fucking path going. Like you wanna fucking come with the ride, fucking tell a ride. You think what I'm saying?
Right.
But one on the flip side of that, I think those women or those type of people that need to have like a backstory or say anything other than like what their current situation is.
Right.
Is that they need to like remind themselves or to like tell the story to themselves versus to you. You know what I mean? But they're not saying like, oh yeah, like, you know, I was in like marketing for whatever company for a couple years, and then I moved to banking. But you know, like now I'm in like a bartending and shit, bro. You know, it's like making it sound like it's like
bitch, you're a bartender.
Temporary, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't ask you what you did 10 years ago. I asked you what you do right fucking now. Yeah.
Right. So like that isn't for you. You know what I mean? That's for themselves.
And you know, the thing is, with guys like us, we meet girls like this all the time. The blue collar guy meets girls like this all the time. Right?
Right.
And we hear this shit all the time. And here's my thing. I don't care what you do for a living. Do you know what I mean? What I care about is that you treat me right. You treat me like a man. And if you show me that, you don't have to do all the shit.
Right.
If you show me you treat me like a man, you treat me with respect, and you love me, and you are compassionate, and you are loyal, and you can fucking stuff bags at ShopRite. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
right.
You know?
Right.
But they don't look at it that way. I think they're torn between, like, you know, feminism and being a lady, and I didn't really do much in my life, and I have to fucking get my shit together, or I could just lie about it, or I could just convince myself I did it. Anyway, the first thing I think when a woman answers that question that we had, first thing I think is look at yourself.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
If you need to fix yourself, or if you are dating the same type of shitty guy over and over and over again, which plenty of girls do, and then they want to act surprised when that shitty guy acts shitty, right? Then you did it to yourself.
Exactly.
And if you decide to get into that shitty relationship with a shitty guy, and you're giving it time, the problem is a lot of these guys can't just walk away and go, well, he's not for me, because they develop feelings. And we all know that emotions and feelings trump everything to a woman. I mean, we all seen girls that have gotten fucking slapped, that have gotten fucking money taken from them, that have, I call these kind of guys pimps. I don't mean to laugh.
I don't mean to laugh about that.
That's funny.
And those girls will not fucking leave them. Why? Because they love them. Don't ask me fucking why, but they do. Anyway, the other part of the question, so I know who the person is that asked this question. And this person is in her 60s.
Jesus.
So she's
sorry.
Go ahead, continue. In her 60s, and she's single with no children. So
back it up. So
Steve, since you're the oldest out of the three, what do you think? You're not in that category yet. You're in your 50s, but what do you think it is like for a woman in her 60s? What kind of guy in his 50s and 60s?
Okay. If she's in her 60s, and wait a minute, let me get the whole question right. You said that she's in her 60s.
Yeah.
She has no children, you said?
No children.
No children, right? So now, that is the first red flag.
Right.
Because, and I'm not judgmental, but, you know, at the same time, you're in your 60s. You got no kids. I don't know what your living situation is like. You know, like who you live with, if you live by yourself, whatever the case may be. But obviously, there's a problem. Because I don't want to sound like, you know, okay, well, she's 60 and she ain't got no kids. That doesn't make her a bad person.
No, and it could be a biological problem.
Right. But let's say it's not a biological problem.
All right.
Because, you know, we have to kind of like narrow the whole scenario down because it could go a whole bunch of different ways.
Yeah, this is a very big question. Yeah.
Right. So if she doesn't have a biological problem, then obviously she never was with a guy long enough to even get to that junction in their relationship where they thought they talked about having kids, or she accidentally got pregnant, or whatever the case may be. She ain't got no kids, and she's 60. So at her junction in life, you know, she's probably saying, well, it's not gonna happen now. I'm a little bit elderly for that kind of shit to be happening. So now you're gonna deal with a guy. You're gonna be looking for that type of guy who doesn't want that in a woman. You're not willing to or able to give it to him. So, and if the guy that you're pursuing has a different agenda, he said, well, you know, I want to be with a woman that if she wants to have some kids, I want her to pop some babies out, all that kind of stuff. But obviously, he's not right for you, you know, because you're past that. But to think that, you know, you got to where you're at in life and you don't have certain things, like children, for example, might make the guy that that's coming after you question some shit.
Right.
And be like, well, why doesn't this? She's 60 years old. She ain't got no kid. She don't got grandkids and shit like that at this junction, you know, and you ain't got none of that. And then, you know, it's gonna be like, scratch your head like, what's up with her? You know,
Right.
it all goes. You can't really. I don't want to knock a woman like that because
It's a question mark. It's definitely a question mark.
yes, because you know her circumstances might have been different where that wasn't possible.
Yeah.
You know, but it will make somebody question that shit, like, you know, in their own mind, like, what's up with that? You know, why is her situation the way it is?
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Now, Steve,
you know,
Yeah.
yes,
Let
I
Josh.
want to ask, like, so now, like, the question begins, like, are you only speaking on for the men that want kids, or for you're speaking about the dudes that be like, all right, cool, like she probably doesn't want them. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
'cause at that
yes.
stage in life, it could be both. You
Yes,
dig?
that's true.
Like,
That's true.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Correct.
we're only touching on like the hardships, so to speak, like
Yes.
on like not conceiving and like having bad relationships and all that. But it could be a woman that just doesn't really want kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's why those are the three variables that you just mentioned.
Right.
Not wanting kids, not being able to have kids, or having hardships that, you know, that just her situation doesn't warrant her having children at whatever particular time. Those three things all come into play. So that's why it's hard to pinpoint what
Right.
exactly could be her situation. You know what I mean? Like, it could be either one of those three things. And that's why you can't really say, well, if you form an opinion, you can form an opinion on each one of those different scenarios. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's her. Either one of those. You don't know which one of those scenarios is her.
Right.
You have an opinion about all three of them.
Yeah.
And each one of them are obviously going to be different, because if we talk about the fact that, let's just say she's a lazy bitch that never really, it's a good thing she don't have kids, because her kids would be fucked up, because she's lazy or whatever the case may be. It's a good thing you have kids, because she's not the motherly type. Right? That's one. The other one.
Steve, are you covering the speaker? Because we can't hear you all of a sudden.
Am I what?
Oh, there you go. That's better.
Yeah.
I mean, she might not be the motherly type. So
Right.
you say, well, that's a good thing that bitch ain't got no kids, because she's not motherly type. You know what I mean? But then she might have situations where, for whatever physical reason, she can't have children. So that gets automatically put in a different category, because it's not her fault. She can't have kids. Right?
Let's wrap this one up, because we did the first question. All right. So what? Knowing this person, okay? So knowing this person, she's in her 60s, okay? Person Personally, I think she is just dating the wrong type of guy. Now, what I mean by that is this person, I believe, from what I understand, likes younger men. Okay, so
Oh, you didn't say that.
I think most of the guys now because
There you go.
the question was vague, and I was just trying to answer the whole question. But
Uh,
I think the type of guys that she is dating likes to hit it and quit it. Because I got to look at it this way: she's in her 60s. I'm dating. She wants to date a guy that's 50 and looks good. You date a guy that's 50 and looks good and has a good career. Is he gonna want to date a girl in her 60s?
hell no.
Exactly.
I'm saying that right now.
I don't think so.
Right.
Hell no.
He might go 40, maybe 35.
There you go.
The big fucking difference. So I think this person has to start self-evaluating and dating a person that fits properly. Even though if he's looking for a companion, she might have to kind of drop the standards on physical attraction a little bit and to have
I know
somebody.
you want to move on, and that's why I'm not gonna say anything else because I definitely have a strong opinion about what you just was talking about. But we want to move on. So if we stay on this topic, I'm gonna break shit down because
Yeah, no, we're gonna move on. But saying that,
yeah, let's move on.
this person that asked the question is actually a fabulous person. She's a family member of mine, and she's very well loved, and she's very.
Is she single?
Yeah, she is actually, obviously, and she's actually a really good person deep down inside. So I think she's just picking the wrong people. All right, let's move to the
But
next.
yo, is she type though, B? Like, is she?
I can't answer that. That's disgusting. I can't answer that. All right, so okay, so here's another question. This one's a little bit more fun. Okay, so this question is: your podcast is called Serious and Silliness. Tell us one serious event that happened in your life and one of the silliest moments that happened in your life. Now, I'm gonna leave this guys up to you because if you don't want to talk about anything serious, that's fine with me. I don't want to fucking have a depressing show. So if you just want to talk about some funny shit that happened in your life. But the problem is Steve could talk about this for an hour. Like,
Let it fucking rock, son.
all right, Steve, just give us one or two really funny scenarios, and just keep in mind that Josh has to answer and I have to answer. Okay?
Right.
So
Take your thumb off the. I can barely hear you.
Yeah.
No.
Steve, what's going on, Steve?
No. Where is the speaker on your phone? Is it covered?
It's probably sweat in there. You've been hitting the socks fucking strong, dog.
Yeah, good. Say it again.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. All right. So
Just speak close to the phone because it looks like we can't. Sounds like we can't hear you.
okay, I don't want to be. Okay. So can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Right?
Yeah.
All right. So you know how well, I don't know about you guys, but like I see being in Manhattan, we work in Manhattan, and you see a lot of different celebrities on the whim, like they just be walking through the street like an average New Yorker, right? But they're celebrities, right? So that never really happened to me, but when it did happen, I was a little starstruck, and I said, "Oh shit!" Like, as soon as I see the celebrity, I get a little excited, and I want to approach that person and be, see if I can get an autograph or whatever the case may be, So back in the day when I was a plumber's apprentice, and I used to have to go out and get coffee for the men, I was that designated guy. I would go to the coffee shop, and there were two coffee shops. One was like a regular bodega, where you get just regular coffee, like, regular bodega. The other one across the street was the gourmet coffee.
See if you can back up off the camera a little bit. Yeah,
Oh, okay. You got me?
Much better.
Right.
Much better.
All right. So now I would go to the gourmet coffee shop to get the coffee for my foreman and the deputy and all that shit. Right? So I go to get the coffee for the men in the regular bodega. Then I would go across the street to the other coffee shop. And when I went in the coffee shop, I seen a celebrity who I thought was a celebrity, and I was right, but I didn't know it at the time. I go and I said, "Oh shit, that's Meg Ryan right there, right?" So I said, "No, I had to collect myself." I go, "I don't want to get, I'm all nervous and shit." I go, "Excuse me, I didn't look nice." I said, "Excuse me, but you look just like Meg Ryan, right?" Because I just wanted to get her attention to let her know that I knew who she was, right? That bitch turned around and looked at me like I was a piece of shit. Like I was beneath her, right? And I said, like being all excited and getting no response. And the bitch looked at me up and down. I said, "You know what? Fuck you, Meg Ryan. You bitch." I said it right to her face. I didn't give a fuck. I said, "Fuck you, Meg Ryan. You ain't gonna treat me like I'm a piece of shit." You know what I mean? And then she looked at me like with some substance, like, "This motherfucker just told me, fuck you." That's right, bitch. I said it. You piece of shit. Who the fuck are you to look at me like I'm beneath you, bitch? And then I took the coffee and walked the fuck out. Right? And so,
Funny story.
Meg Ryan, if you're watching this podcast, kiss my ass. Fucking Meg Ryan, you bitch. Really don't even see you, motherfucker.
All right, go ahead, Josh. Go ahead. Here you go.
Give me a second.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Cheers,
Word. It's not as entertaining as Steve's is, but there's actually this one. It's not the funniest, but this is the one that I could most recall on.
Okay.
This happened yesterday. I'm coming from Queens, right? Trying to get home. Like things are opening up more. Like there's more traffic and stuff like that. There's more cars on the road. You guys all know that. And I missed my exit to come into the city. I have this fucking asshole in back of me. This dude. He's driving the fucking, I think a BMW SUV.
Yeah.
Well, one of the brand new ones and shit, right? Like I later find out that he's wearing like a suit and shit like that. So I'm pretty sure he feels like he has that gusto. He has that breast feather shit, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Right. So he gives me the flash, like, "Yo, hurry up, yo." Like, son, I looked in the rearview mirror. I was like, "Yo, really, dude?" I fucking apply the brakes, and mind you, not hard. I just to let him know, like really, dude, like relax. So he gets more aggressive. I fucking hit the brakes hard. He goes to the side and tries to go around me.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, in my small hatchback, right?
Yeah.
Mind you, this is a BMW X5 or SUV, right? I punch it. He does not get by me. I keep on going. He's still flashing the lights, like doing this and that, whatever. Like he's like, "Oh, fuck you, this and that." All right, cool. When I get a chance, go to the side, dude. I told this dude, "Come, let's push to the side." He kept on going, like, "Yo, fuck you, this and that, whatever." Like, I'm not trying to fight anybody, but if it comes to the point, then yes, dude. Like, I'll fucking get it at it. The fact of the matter is, like, he was so like twisted on the fact that he got smoked by a small hatchback, like literally a small hatchback, loaded. I might add. And he had it was probably like a 2019, 2018.
Yeah.
BMW X5. He couldn't get past me. Like, and seeing his face, like, "Oh, fuck you, this and that, whatever, like, you motherfucker, whatever." That brought so much joy to me.
Oh,
I have no idea. I have no
That
idea
motherfucker-
why. Like,
That motherfucker was upset at himself because he couldn't get right.
like, dude,
Steve,
What's up?
it was the fucking top. Son.
What's up?
Steve, tell the story about when you kicked that kid's ass for a Snickers bar.
Oh. We had this kid on the block, right? That was he was like, he thought he was one of them karate kids. You know, back in the day when you used to go to the movies and see Bruce Lee movies and all kinds of karate flicks.
This is before Josh's time. In the 80s,
Hey,
karate
hey,
movies were huge.
Take it easy. Wax on, Daniel. Son. I dig
Go
it.
ahead, Steve.
So this kid thought he was the karate kid, right? And he used to always pop shit and this and that. And that motherfucker, you know how you be on the block, you're playing with all your friends and all kinds of games you're playing out in the street. And that motherfucker, first of all, he said something about my mother, right? Yeah, he said something about my mother, right? So not only that, but you know, that was the main reason I chased that motherfucker down. But because there was a bunch of scenarios, but I don't want to mix them both up. One scenario was he said something about my mother. The other scenario, where he got his ass kicked for the Snickers bar, was because I got older brothers, and they were hanging out on the stoop with his people, and they were.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, Steve,
You know,
There you go.
he started fucking with them and bothering them. So my brother told his friend, "Yo, go get my little brother. I'm gonna take you, motherfucker." Right? So he went and got me, and he said, "Yo, they know I like candy and cakes and all kinds of shit. I'm that little kid that lived in the bodega, getting all kinds of yodels and devil dogs and Snickers bars and all kinds of shit." Right? He said to me, "Yo, if you go fuck that kid up, I'll buy you all the candy you want. Snickers bars, yodels, devil dogs. Just get rid of that little motherfucker." So I went up the block and I fucking went up to him. His name was Tyreek. That was his name. I don't give a fuck if I'm saying it because he ain't never gonna see this shit, but even if he did, fuck him up again. Right? And I said, "Yo, you fucking with my brother and this and that." And he said, "Man, fuck you." And I slapped shot him. Bah! I slapped shit out of him. And when I slapped him hard like a fuck. And he ran. So then I'm chasing that motherfucker. I chased him the whole length of the block. Across the street, cars are running by and shit. And that motherfucker didn't care that cars were running by. He was just trying to get away from me. I fucking caught his ass across the street, right in front of the bodega. And I stomped his ass. Like, wow, oh yeah, motherfucker, yeah, blah, 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 right? I stomped his ass, and then my brother's friend saw that shit, and he said, "Okay, Steve, come on, let's go in the store." And that motherfucker, I came out of the store with 2 bags of goodies and shit. I said, "Yeah, that's what you get, motherfucker, for fucking with my family."
You moved yourself again, Steve.
Your stupid ass.
Yeah. All right, so here's my story. This was back when I was in my 20s. One of the guys, I still keep in touch with him. He's still a good friend. His name is Joe. We're still good friends. He's the only guy I really keep in touch with that I grew up with. Well, anyway, of course I knew he had brothers, younger brothers and whatnot. One of his brothers get married. So he invited me to the bachelor party. So I was like, fuck yeah. And it's in my 20s. I still love to go to the clubs and hang out and girls and drink. And back then it was ecstasy and cocaine and Special K and all these drugs. This was the 90s, right? So,
oh yeah.
So we get a room, and I forgot what hotel it was in Atlantic City, and they get 2 fucking stripper, hookers, whatever you want to call them, to come to the room, right? So now it's me and Joe. Now we weren't the wildest bunch of guys, but we liked pussy and drinking and getting fucked up, and we used to go out, 3-4 nights a week. His little brother, who's a great guy, his crew wasn't as wild, but not that we were like crazy, but just they were subdued, they were chill, right? So they get the 2 girls to come to the room, right? And you know, if you've been to a bachelor party, the girls do all kinds of fucking tricks, right? They blow ping pong balls out their pussy. They stick a lollipop in the mouth and they pick it up with they kneel and pick the shit up with their pussy and stuff like that, right? All stupid shit like that. So all his friends are standing around. Now I'm fucked up because I was drinking since the afternoon, right? I don't really, I don't drink anymore, but I was drinking since the afternoon, and now it's like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and we're dressed and ready to go out, and all the girls there. And I just said, this shit fucking sucks, right? So what I did was I took off all my clothes except my underwear, right? So the girl was laying on the floor. There was 2 girls, and one girl was laying on the floor. I don't know what they were laying on the floor for. They were doing some trick. I took off all my clothes, and I had nothing on but my fucking Calvin Klein short. Remember, everything was Calvin Klein back then, right? And my Calvin Klein underwear on. This girl was on her back doing some kind of trick, I don't know what. And I grab her leg, right? I grab her leg, and I slapped a figure 4 leg lock on this bitch. And I fucking just slapped the floor. And I'm slapping the floor like I'm I got this figure 4 locked on this bitch. This girl couldn't breathe because she was laughing so hard. And her other friend was amazed. She was just like, and I'm just like, I'm slapping the mat, and I'm like, tap out, bitch, tap out. And my friend is in her face going, you gotta tap out. You can't handle a figure 4 leg lock. Right? So the girl's hysterical laughing. So I let go of the figure 4 leg lock. My friend grabs my arm, raises my arm like this, and starts going, and the new World Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion. And he announced me a champion. So then what happened was I didn't think I was over. So I get on the bed, and she's still laying on the floor laughing, and I'm on the bed, and I was like this. I was ready to drop the elbow. I was ready to drop the elbow on this prostitute. And his brother tackles me off the bed, and I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, dude, you can't jump off the bed and drop it and kill her. And I was wasted. I was destroyed, and I was like, his name was Jack, and I was like, Jack, I've been wrestling plenty of times. I know how to give a fucking elbow drop, dude.
That's the funny shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
that's the stupidest shit. I got a hooker and a figure 4 leg lock. So let's see what I think we got one other question.
Oh,
You know,
that's
I'm gonna
Let's fucking transition, John.
yeah. Really. Yeah, I'm a real fucking Johnny Carson over here. I'm gonna save this question for when I do the podcast by myself because it's like an in-depth question. But I'm just gonna throw out a question from last week and see what you guys do. One of the questions from last week was what turns guys off? This girl texted me and said, what turns guys off? What's a turn off? You turn off to guys. And if you saw my last YouTube show, you already know my answer. But
well, I didn't see your last YouTube show.
Doesn't matter.
In depth, but what I think
turns physically we can't
guys off. Is this a physical question?
Let's start off physical, yeah.
Okay. Well, what turns me off, if I see a chick that is like a real skinny, bony chick, and and if she's bony and she ain't got no ass and no tits, now I'm not fucking with you. I don't give a fuck how nice you are.
Yeah.
Your niceness is not gonna fucking take care of me, goddammit. I'm just saying, you gotta have some ass. You gotta have some titties. You can't be skinny with nothing else to offer, goddammit. I don't give a fuck if you're slim, because when you're slim, you can just slide up in that pussy and just be wrecking it. But at the same time, if you ain't got nothing else to play with, then that's whack. So, bitch, if you ain't got no big ass titty, you got some big ass titty.
All right.
Or you ain't got a nice ass, then I'm not playing with you. That's it.
What about you, Josh? What turns you off, girl?
All right. That was real in depth, Steve.
That's how we do, son. That's how we do.
Sorry, like the liquor's carrying me. You dig what I'm saying?
That's all right.
what turns me off is just like a chick that fucking is all about herself, puts the dude down. That's she's trying to get with.
Yeah,
You
but
know what I'm saying?
we're talking about physical stuff.
Oh, physical stuff, like shit. It's just taking me longer than I would think. You know what I'm saying?
I get,
But for me, definitely like I'm not trying to be the stereotypical dude, but smoking, like at least cigarettes. That's I mean, like you have no gain for the cigarette shit.
gotcha.
I'm probably like one of like 5 dudes. Like, oh, what are you, a fag? You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? But like that shit like really fucking irritates me, or like definitely fucking like puts me out of the equation. But like, dude, like if her like feet are dirty,
Oh, fucked up feet.
Oh, that's nasty.
dude, that shit fucks me up, son.
Oh,
That shit fucks me up, son. Dude, the bottom of her feet, right? Why wouldn't it be clean? If everything else is clean, like
yeah. Like you're talking about like alligator feet. Fuck, oh, that's some nasty shit.
oh Jesus Christ! I wasn't. Oh fuck, dude. I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about just fucking like, oh, just like a little black like soot on the bottom. Like now you're talking about fucking scales and shit. Like, you know what I'm
You gotta
saying?
have
Like,
nice feet. You gotta have nice feet.
you know what I mean? Like, but you know, those are my like 2 biggest fucking.
So for me, right, when I answered the question last week, it was smoking, bad breath. I hate a chick with bad breath, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Sloppy drunk. A girl gets sloppy and super drunk is a big turnoff. You know, fucked up toes and fucked up hands. Like I'm not gonna say that I prefer girls that are perfect.
Imagine, you know, if you want to get a little freaky, and then you got the chick, you know, in your bedroom or whatever, and now you want to suck on her toes, and you know, you want to get a little freaky, right?
Yeah.
And then you grab her foot, and that shit is the bottom of it is black, and she got long ass toenails, like ain't been cut in 6 months, and
Listen,
then
dinosaur. Oh.
you're like, oh shit, no, this bitch. Yo, bitch, put your clothes back on. I don't give a fuck. Put your panties back on, bitch. I'm not fucking with you. And then you go past the toes, because you might say, fucking, her toes are fucked up, but that might be some good pussy. And then when you spread her legs, she got a fucking Angela Davis afro down there.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, you gotta listen. You gotta have your toes done. You gotta have your finger. You gotta have your nails done. Okay. You gotta have good breath. You gotta have no facial hair. You got that little shit going on over here. Wax that shit. Right?
Yeah.
You gotta have no hair on your pussy. Just bald. You gotta have nothing down on that shit. Right?
Not even the air strip. The air. What's the shit? What do you call that? The runway or what do they call that?
Nothing. No
Just
runway,
kind of bald pussy.
bald.
Oh,
And
the lens strip.
you have a
Lens
stinky
strip.
pussy.
Yeah, that's
Your pussy smells. If you got a stinky pussy, somebody better tell you your pussy stinks, because that is just disgusting.
Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty.
When I was a kid, I hung out with this girl who stunk up the room, son.
Damn, John, like
Yeah.
you make.
But you still hung out with her?
Yeah, I walked out. I'm not kidding. I had to be in my mid-20s. I was in her apartment. She bent over. I had the condom on. Yo, when she took her pants down, I was like, oh, yo, the whole fucking room. Dude, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. True story. Took the condom off and walked right out. Took
You
my
wasn't even gonna hit that shit with 2 rubbers.
It was disgusting. The girl's got the nerve to sit on the bed and go, what happened? What's wrong? Where you going? What? You don't smell
Stop
that
it, John. She probably didn't. She probably didn't know. She probably didn't even know.
Well, if she didn't know after that,
No, listen. How does the chick know that her? How does the chick not know that her pussy don't stink?
I don't know, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Denial.
Ah,
Denial.
yeah.
That's what she does. That's what she does not know.
I'm just saying. Like, how do you not know your pussy is wicked? Like, the shit is, you know, if you're a clean chick where you always take care of yourself, you know your shit is tight. So you know, a motherfucker go down there, you'll be like, ooh, that shit smell like fucking potpourri or some shit. You know what I mean? But then you go down there and the shit smell like hot garbage, and you're like, oh shit. You know what I
Now
mean?
listen.
Oh,
They say something in the hood, like saying is like, if she doesn't know about lemon sol, that's a soap for the feminine hygiene.
yeah.
She's of the streets.
You know that?
You know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt.
Like, amen. You dig? Like,
Yeah, no doubt. You gotta
like
give it a what's that shit? The litmus test.
Everything's got to be smelling good. Everything's got to be clean and smelling good. That's
right.
If you sprinkle some lemon on that shit and it stings, the bitch is sour.
What the fuck?
All right, listen. Let's we got one more question. Let's answer this question. Let's put it off because we only got one more question, and we've been on here for a while now. All right. So this question is basically, this person wants to know, how does a girl, and we're talking about today's day and age, right? How does a girl go from a lesbian relationship, a committed lesbian relationship, to a committed heterosexual relationship with a guy, or vice versa? How is a girl able to do that, and guys don't seem to do that? Like, guys don't come out of a straight relationship with a girl and go, I'm gonna go fucking suck some dick now, right? But we've seen girls come out of a committed heterosexual relationship with another man and then wind up with another girl. Wind up with a girl. Or
that's easy.
all right. Or she's with a girl, and then she breaks up with the girl, and then she winds up with a dude, and she has a heterosexual relationship. That's okay. What do you think?
I think that if a girl goes from well, let's touch on the first topic in terms of girl being a lesbian, and then a girl being heterosexual in a heterosexual relationship, and then she goes to a lesbian, becomes a lesbian. And that's obviously because she's had multiple experiences with men who she was not satisfied.
Right.
So she said, you know what? All this dick I've been getting, I'm not being satisfied. So she probably figures, let me venture into the next prospect, which is women, and see what that brings to the table. Like how I feel with that. And I like I said, I solely think that is because the men that she dealt with, for whatever reason, did not satisfy her, and she chose to choose another avenue to see if that would satisfy her sexually. I think it has to do with her chosen men. And, I don't know. I don't know. In that respect, I can't see any other reason.
Okay.
Maybe not thinking of outside the box, but I think that's what I would think would be the reason she switches over to go to a woman.
It's definitely a possibility. What do you think, Josh?
I think that women are wired differently than men. Obviously, these women, they have what the fuck?
Oh shit, we lost Josh.
Okay.
Oh,
you got me? All right, cool. These women, they look for just compassion, right? They've probably gone to college. They've probably gone to high school. They've had these thoughts before, and if they meet a dude that's a straight up dickhead, treats him like shit, fucking like puts him to the wayside and all that, they find a friend initially, because everybody starts out as a friend, right? And that's a chick that shows them the nurture side, that shows them the like the compassion and everything. They're gonna like gravitate towards that, and they're gonna be like, you know what, like, fuck that, yeah, fuck men. I'm team V. Like, that's, to some people that's derogatory, but you know, like that directly says like what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with Josh, but I actually needed help with this. I actually had to call somebody, a friend, because I said there has to be something deeper, right? Because it's got to be more than just sex. There's got to be more than just compassion. So this person broke it down for me, and she made a lot of sense. She basically said, she said to me, when you were a kid and you went to the schoolyard, your mother drove you to school and you went to the schoolyard, who did you play with? You played with the boys or the girls? So I said, of course I play with the boys, right? And she goes, yeah, and the girls would go play with the girls. And I went, yeah, of course. So she goes, so guys get along better with guys and girls get along better with girls. And I'm like,
naturally.
Yeah, that's true. Because there's no fucking way I could do this with my wife and one of her friends. We've been on here for I don't even know how long. It's got to be a couple of hours already, right? So she says, okay, so the genders get along better with each other. That's just a given. And both men and women need to procreate to populate the planet. And I was like, okay, that's true. If a woman gets hurt, if she is in a heterosexual relationship and she gets hurt from a man, whatever the case may be, divorced. Well, we have a couple that the guy died, actually. Suddenly, we were married, the guy suddenly died. It was tragic. Yeah. And then a woman comes around and shows her, like Josh said, compassion, love, nurturing, and will listen to her, because all the things that guys are terrible at, right? Like, we'll listen to an extent, right? We're not going to do it like a girl. A girl does it like, girls love better than men. That's just the truth of it, right?
Yeah, they'll pull that shit out from like 5 months ago and then hit you with it.
Right.
So, see, I think.
And then hold on. Let me finish my thought here.
Okay.
And then if you put two other things inside that relationship, one is that girl has to be curious somehow, some way, right?
Okay,
because I've met girls that are just straight. That's it. There's no way to fucking with it. There has to be some sort of curiosity. So now she's hurt by a man. She is curious, and this person is showing her compassion and love and listening and nurturing, and she becomes her partner, right? And then on top of that, you're living in a free society where it's not frowned upon. It's very socially acceptable to be gay, and that creates the perfect storm.
Well, okay. Let's just look at your scenario, right? And say you have that woman who's attached to the next woman, who, she provides all of these things, emotional support and all that shit, right? And then in her mind, sexually, she's being satisfied.
Right.
Okay. But now, let's give the same qualities to a man. So now you have it's a toss-up. Like, okay, you got the woman that provides all these qualities for you, the sensualness and all that sensuality and sensitive bullshit, and then and then in her mind, like I said, I keep saying in her mind, the sex is awesome, but then you got a man who provides the same qualities, the sensualness, like he understands your feelings, type of shit. That, and then the dick is the shit, right? That chick is gonna definitely, in my opinion, she's gonna flip the script. Once you get a man that has all those other qualities that you have in a woman, and then on top of that, the dick is the shit, that bitch is jumping shit. she's gonna be like, I'm strictly dickly because now I got a big man that has all of that shit, and on top of that, the sex is the bomb. I think that's all that's gonna take for her to jump ship.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, but we're talking about a lot of women aren't patient enough to wait around for a guy like that. Because those guys, the guy that you're describing, compassionate, loving, nurturing, will listen to you, right? And will give you a good day. First of all, you're describing a gay guy, right? All right. I mean, if you got a guy that is nurturing and compassionate and loving and will listen to your terrible stories, probably gay. You're probably a gay guy. So, and then you're basically talking about a unicorn, Steve. I don't know.
No, come on, let's be real. This guy, I mean, come on, let's be real. There are those type of men that will be that kind of guy, maybe naturally. Because if you do it like on a fake tip just to get that ass, then you have an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll do that shit just to see if you can flip her. And you'll play that role. But if you're genuinely that type of guy, that's the type of guy these bitches are looking for. And I get what you're saying. That whole shit about you're pretty much gay because nobody's gonna put up with all your bullshit. And I get that. But there are those dudes that exist. You understand? So I think that who knows the reason why chicks go, from one extreme to another. Why? Who knows the reason why they go from being with a guy to going with a girl? Like that shit is really it's an intense conversation because there's so many variables that could actually fit the profile in terms of I don't know. It's everybody's thing.
Think about all the guys that we fuck with at work. Because we're probably more of the masculine guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys at work, but we're probably more of the more masculine guys.
Yeah.
All the guys that we fuck with at work, right?
Yeah.
How many of those guys that we fuck with at work are passionate and loving and nurturing? Well, listen to your wife's shit. Listen, if my wife comes home late from work and I'm on the couch already watching TV and she walks into the living room, my first thought is, oh, here we go. This is how every conversation goes with my wife, right? This is what happens, and I'm not kidding. This is what happens. She goes, where do you hear what now we're talking it's 8, 9 o'clock at night. Like you guys know, my wife owns the hair salon, so by the time she gets home, it's late. She gets home, where do you hear what happened? Now she's standing in the living room with the finger, like this. This is what she talks, right? And she goes, where do you hear what happened to me at work? And I'm like, all right, I guess forget that I was watching TV. I'll have to mute that, right? So I mute the shit, and I go, okay, tell me what happened at work. Do you remember my friend Maria? I don't remember your friend Maria. You remember my friend Maria? Remember that time I made you go to that party like 2 years ago with a bunch of people you didn't want to fucking hang out with, and a party you didn't want to go to? All right? And I'm like, no, I don't really. You remember? Right? Well, then I'm just like, just get on with the story. Okay, what happened? And then she'd be like, all right, so Maria went to the Dominican Republic with her husband and her kids, right? And if we ever go to Dominican Republic, we really gotta go and stay at the what is it? The Hollywood. What's some nice hotel? We really gotta stay there because it's all inclusive. And then I get another 2-hour story.
Planet Hollywood.
We go to the Dominican Republic that we have to stay at this hotel that I never heard of before because it's all inclusive. And Maria stayed there and she recommended it, right?
Oh, shit, okay.
I gotta pull her in. And I go, all right, Alyssa, what happened with Maria? Right? So they were in the pool, right? They were in the pool, and one of the kids almost drowned. They were in the pool, and his hand got caught in the filter down at the bottom of the pool. And then Maria's son was crying because that was his little friend that they were hanging out with the whole vacation. So Maria was holding her friend, her son crying. And then I'll be like, Alyssa, did the kid drown? Did he die or not? Jesus Christ, get to the point. And then I get like, this is how, then I'll go like this. Then she'll go like this. Well, I ain't going to tell you anyone's going to be going to treat you like that. Forget it.
Dude.
So you get that same conversation. My wife calls one of her girlfriends, tells the same story. They're on that fucking phone for 3 hours without a goddamn argument. They're talking about everything under the sun. Never got to the kid fucking drama. That's the difference. That's the difference, right? And at the same time, like me and Josh talk about cars all day long at work. And if I could say to my wife, if I go home and say to my wife, yo, I think the Ford Shelby GT5, I think I want to get that next one that's got 700 horsepower and 600 pounds of torque. And she looks at me and she's like, okay, yeah, like she gives a shit, right? She doesn't give a shit. She's just guessing me to that. Oh yeah, great. I'm only interested when the car shows up in the driveway. That's the only time she's interested. So now you take that. So now the girl finds a girl that will listen to all her shit. That's what girls do, right? And then they scissor and muff dive on top of that. And right?
You gotta.
I have the perfect person here. I have, as long as she has some kind of desire or fantasy or curiosity of what it's like to be with a woman, I could totally see it happen.
Right. You're definitely right, dude. Like you're definitely right, dude.
You get the hell on the head, son.
That fucking explanation was fucking spot on
right.
to the empty time.
So I gotta. Thank you very much. I gotta clear up a couple of things first before we get off here. I gotta clear up a couple things. I got a couple of comments from people since I started this YouTube channel. I got a couple of comments.
Who the fuck are they?
What happened?
Who the fuck are they?
Yeah, exactly. Who the fuck are they?
Yeah. The first comment is, who am I to answer somebody's questions and be a life coach or relationships or insecurity or confidence? Who am I? What qualifications do I have that I can answer that? Okay, so I gotta put this out there so everybody knows. I know a lot of people at work don't know because I don't say it because we're blue collar guys.
Right.
I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and I have a master's degree in business administration. Right? And if you spend the money and buy one of these fucking microphones, you could be a fucking authority too, okay? I got this.
If you had a fucking diploma hanging on your wall, you would understand you.
That's right. So not only do I have diplomas on the wall, I spent the money and I also pay some girl to edit this shit, okay? So you could go right ahead and do it and be an authority too. Except that I have 2 degrees that says I could do it and plenty of life experience. The other thing I got to clear up, right? The other thing I got to clear up is that in my second YouTube video, my niece's friends texted me all these questions. So I had a couple of comments like, my God, how old is your niece? 10, 14? And I'm like, my youngest niece is 22 years old. The other 2 are 26. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Wait, hold on. Let me ask this. Why was somebody asking you, right? Because this is fresh, right? This is like hot off the press, right?
Right.
Why are they asking you if your niece is 10 to 12 years old?
Because they said
that is alarming.
Yeah, you're right. They said that in the second video, it sounds like that when I say my niece, they automatically think of a 14-year-old girl, a 10-year-old girl, a 12-year-old girl. And I'm like, you sick fuck, what do you think? I'm trying to tap into some pre-teen demographic that needs questions answered? I was like, my youngest niece is 22. I got 2 other nieces that are 26. They're adults. They just have questions. sick, twisted people, man.
Them
Man, they're
bitches
fucking sick bastards.
definitely have issues.
Yeah.
If you're listening, bitch,
Straight up.
you all got issues. Because if you tapping into a fucking podcast looking for advice because you're too stupid to figure shit out for yourself. So that's why you need somebody else's advice. And Uncle John
That's right.
is the man
Talk to him.
That's
to
right.
fucking tell you what it is, bitches.
That's right. That's right. Now just remember, Uncle John will answer all your questions, right? So it's Uncle John 1201 at gmail.com or
Talk to him. Say it
Instagram,
again.
Serious and Silliness on Instagram. DM me your questions. And I think that's it for this.
Yo, just fucking tell them to fucking follow the link in the description.
That's
You
right.
fucking talk about it then. You dig what I'm
If you
saying?
think
Like,
you know how to follow
hit
the
it with the 2020.
link up.
You heard?
And another thing is, don't forget to subscribe and like the shit, okay? You're watching it, you might as well subscribe to it and like it, all right? Because I'm trying to make some money off this motherfucker. All right.
Yurt.
It might take me some time, but I'm hoping I make some money off this shit. But all right, guys, I think we're done for today. It was a long one. I appreciate you guys coming on
Yo,
and helping out.
ladies and gentlemen,
We can't wait
Deuces.
to come back.
What'd you say, Steve?
I said we can't wait to come back.
That's
We're gonna-
right.
word. So word. Have a good night, everybody. Take it easy.
Retarded questions. That we're gonna give them the real fucking story.
Real and raw.
Word.
All right, fellas. Have a good night, man.
All right.
Word.
Peace out.
Take it easy.